Alright, so we gotta go find this DVD player now. And I might have triggered something. Hold on. Happen, but that's fine. Alright, so we just talked to this... Talk to Malit. Holy... Welcome back, what can I do for you? I'm looking for something that can play a DVD or rewritable. Frankly, I'm not even sure we can find that today. My current desktop doesn't have an optical drive. Really? That is old tech. Very old, in fact. Just a moment, and I will go look. She turns to rummage through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah yes, here we are. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. This display has old enough hookups to connect to a DVD player. RCA, you know? Vintage. RCA might be considered vintage even today. The player itself, though, I do not have. You may wish to try your luck down at the junkyard. There's a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the cruise browser can help you find your DVD player, he can. But he will almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles at you. But you're not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 new yen? Paul Amsel said to charge it to his account. Ah, very well. I'll have it packaged up and delivered to Herr Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD player. I wish you well. Alright, time to go negotiate with an old guy over a DVD player. Man, this might be the most unrealistic thing to happen yet. Sroddy. Stout old man looks up from whatever old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through thick, old-fashioned glasses. He pushes them up with an oil-stinged finger as he strains up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with German tonality. Guten Tag. What can I do for you? Malit tells me you're the man to speak about DVDs. That little shrew sent you my way, huh? Shroddy's smile broadens. But wonders never cease. Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Shroddy Bush at your service. The old man raises a grimy hand in salute. Need some salvaged? Some old components? Violate? I'm indeed your man. Wonderful. How about that DVD player? Well, let's see. I think I got some that'll work for you. Shroddy rummages through the junk heaped on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Ah, here we go. An old Korean player that I dug up last week. 2010 model. A real beauty. That's 8 years old even today. Shroddy's smile broadens. Gives you a conspiratorial wink. I fixed her up and got her running, but without any disc to read, I've been mostly using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Shroddy glances back at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There are plenty of folks out there who really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given the time and trouble it took putting her back together, that I'd be willing to part with her for, let's say. Shroddy's eyes dart over your gear, a calculated expression on his face. How about 500 new yen? That's ridiculous. I could buy a new Trivid player. Yeah, but you can get one of those anywhere. You ain't gonna find another one of these anytime soon. But it's not like I got offers to buy these every day, so I'll cut you a deal. How's 350 cents? Can I? I'm not over fond of your tone, but it's not every day I even get asked to sell any of my projects. That'll be 175 new yen if you please. On second thought, would you be willing to take something in trade? The old man pauses for a moment, considering. I'll tell you what, a few months ago I had call it a difference of opinion with that Barakazi fellow from the soy shop. He hasn't let me into his establishment since, and I'd sell the family cow for a decent cup of coffee. You get me a cup of Turkish coffee. The real deal, not that fake junk, and I'll give you the DVD player. Sounds like a deal? Deal. Alright, so wow, he just traded it for a cup of coffee. But hey, in this dystopia, it seems coffee's it's like a delicacy now. Actual coffee. Let's see what's going on with Common. She got Gossip travels fast, doesn't it? It's not gossip, it's work. What makes it that you need to survive working like this? Well, you know, Altug always says, if you do not spy, how will you know who's boss? She waves her hand as though to excuse her poor memory. Or something like that. I'm just a kid. What do I know? Intel's important, but that should be a business for when you're older, don't you think? Kami puffs up indignantly, and you realize how young she must really be. She couldn't be out of her teens yet. What does that mean? Well, it's just that there are probably some stories that are hard to hear at your age. She glances away furtively, apparently remembering something before beaming back at you. You'd be surprised what I've seen, even before I started being an intel hound. I can handle it. Otherwise, Altug wouldn't trust me to. Speaking of which, I should probably get back to work. Let me know if there's something fun going on, chat. Let's go get that coffee. I've been told you've been quite busy of late, O Wanderer of the Shadows. My street rats tell me that business is picking up. Is that the man who's taken over from Monica, Barkazi? Who does it look like? Your rotundity? The Pope from the Vatican? Oh, they still have a Pope in the Vatican? He almost soy off a big one and put it on my account. I like the cut of his jib. A large soy calf? My, you are the generous one. Goldschmidt, are you sure you can afford such a gesture? The fat man frowns. And a scone. I was going to say, and a scone as well. Nothing is too good for him. As you desire, O ample one. The Turk whispers. The man is a moron, but he eats his weight in baklava and pastries, so who am I to care? Now what was he like? Take the Turkish coffee. Very good. Barakazi hands you a ceramic travel cup, which he then fills to the brim with dark steaming liquid. The scent is intoxicating. Is there anything more I can get you? Can I talk to the elder dude? No, you can't even talk to him. Of your own free will. Alright. Go back to the junkyard. How convenient. Golden triangle right here. Shawty looks again. Hello again, Mynheer. I'm a little busy, but what can I do for you? Back for my DVD player. Well, it ain't yours yet, but it's still right here. Ain't nobody else coming for it. Now, did you grab me a coffee, or do you have the 175 New Yen? Got that coffee for you. Ah, thank you. Shawty gratefully accepts the coffee, then snaps the lid back and inhales deeply, wriggling his mustache as he processes the scent. Yep, that's the real stuff, all right. Shawty gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it to your hands. The plastic is scuffed and worn, and rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Alright. Go back to Paul with the freaking vintage DVD player. Seems the Ansel has assembled a team in your absence. They stand in a group around the old display that you had Malit deliver. On their faces, you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Skirmer, have you procured a DVD reader? I have. It's right here. Good. This should only take me a moment. Amsel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few minutes of fiddling with its battered inputs, he reappears. A satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. The disc should be ready to play. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Start the damn thing, okay? Skirmer went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let's let him do the honors. Ansel steps back, clearing a path for you to access the antique machine. It'd be hilarious if it was porn. It just turned out to be porn. Alright, a soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and a menu fills the screen. Let's play track 1. The screen goes black and a cheerful digital chiming sound spills out of the display speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. After a few moments, the display goes live, and a disheveled-looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. The timestamp on the screen is 2034, 09:15. Hermie, I think we found her. After all this time. Fürschwinch. I knew she wasn't dead. His speech is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I've always said. I knew it, and I was right. Oh, it's Adrian Belclair. The screen explodes into static, and the electronic whine in the background sharpens into a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dante lets out a low whimper. The screen clears, and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spill out of him in breathless tide. Taking a team into the SOX to retrieve her. The radiation be damned. We'll take appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie. I think that the body may be nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all this time. The screen explodes into the static again, and then clears. The figure flickers across the screen. May not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know that things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protests, civil uprising. You'll be in the middle of it, I'm sure. Just stay safe, alright? I'll do my best to do the same. I don't know what's going to happen when I step into the SOX, but I do know one thing. If the Fire Wing is still a danger, I will put an end to her. Once and for all. Display goes black. Alright. Track 2. Okay, that was 2034. That was like, must be the oldest, right? Because this is like 20 years later. Okay, the screen goes black for a moment. Then a figure appears on the screen. Your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table that he's seated at, and his chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. The timestamp on the video reads 2053, 12:25. Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. Strange hearing his voice again. Paused to take a long pull on the bottle. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Oh, so it's his brother. Green Winters is his brother. Dr. Adrian Belclair, the hero of the people. The Dragon Slayer. My brother. He grimaces and rubs his eyes. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Alright, so I'm gonna start recording these DVDs again. For me, for Adrian, for whoever might wind up watching them. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time. But I keep doing it anyway, on the off chance that I'll find something important. If I stumble into a clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm going to want to film it. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ, 20 years. All this time and still no leads. Even with all my contacts and my resources. Takes another long swallow of cheap liquor. Even with my legendary bullheadedness, I've made no progress at all. Haven't turned up a goddamn thing. Want to hear something funny? The closest I've gotten to a clue was a rumor. Apparently, a team emerged from the SOX a while back. No one's clear on the date. But, and get this. He leans into the camera and gives a conspiratorial wink. Supposedly, they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, slams it back down on the table. His eyes are rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor considering. I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Third track. Okay, this one's slightly before, right? Because this is like 2 months before. Stumbled upon this archival footage of Fürschwinch's original attack, months before the Dragonfall. Easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian saved a lot of people by bringing her down. Got the footage all queued up to play, starting it now. Additional comments to follow. The slow whir of the DVD player shifts to a high-pitched whine. A distorted, wavering image blooms into being on the screen. A timestamp on the upper right corner of the screen marks the date. July 6, 2012. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing at first. The scene is dark and smoky, and the telltale flashes of emergency vehicle lights flicker on the periphery of the screen. The camera pushes in, and you can make out two figures standing in a ruined landscape. All at once, the sound cuts in. Again, for those of you just joining us, we're coming to you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Fürschwinch launched an unprovoked attack on the sleepy Harz mountain town, and you can see the results behind me. Fire, ashes, and blood. Daenerys? We are joined tonight by a survivor of this latest and most horrifying attack. The reporter turns to face a pale man standing behind him. Sir, I understand that you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight. The camera switches focus to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eyes. Stammers out a reply. Yeah, Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell the people at home about your experience with the attack? It was horrible. Just pure chaos. So many people are dead. People I knew. Roasted alive or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during the attack. My family, we have nothing. You all made it through the attack though. Your wife? Your kids? Yeah, we all made it, thank God. We rode out the attack in a small shelter. Me, my wife, and our two daughters. The shelter protected us, but the heat was just unbearable. We couldn't have stayed in there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours? I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. What happened after that? When it was all over, you know, when the air cooled down? The reporter nods and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left, just smoldering wreckage and this dense cloud of black oily smoke, and the stench of the air. God, that smell. It smelled like roasting meat. There is a long pause. From the tortured look on his face, you can tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually he does. My girls, they found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped against the shelter door. I keep telling myself that I couldn't hear her pounding to get in, but that isn't true. I could. Just couldn't bring myself to open that door. Couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her, not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak to us. Yeah, is that a young Claire? You heard it here. An absolutely chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to ash, another victim of the fire wave. Stay with us for more up-to-the-minute reporting on First Winter's reign of terror. Green Winter's face reappears on the screen. So, okay, it's time for a new approach. Adrian's a complete dead end. That much is pretty clear by now. So I'm going to do some digging on First Wind instead. Let's see where this goes. So, okay, track 4. This time is 2054-10-31. Well, that was a bust. Little progress on First Wind Jailer. He shakes his head. I don't know. It's weird. The information is there. It's just wrong somehow. It's too well laid out. Too simple. Real life is messy. This just feels a little too neat. That's not the only thing that's nagging at me. I'm getting that tingly feeling all up and down the back of my neck again. It feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hotshot like Clockwork or Schaefer. Oh, so, well, he knew her, obviously. But I'm good enough to know when someone's on my scent. Gotta install some new security measures. Can't be too careful. Well, his voice carries an edge of panic. Timestamp. This is like a week or 2 later? Oh, Christ, I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies and there have been disappearances. Gearbox, Marcianne, Peregrine. They've all disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday. And they were all making the same sorts of inquiries about the Fire Wing that I've been. There are ghost stories spreading around the Decker community. Stories about Deckers disappearing and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff, and I'm starting to think that's true. Bliss leans into whispering. I know the story he's talking about, Chief. Never really put much stock in them. Not until now. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment, as if seriously considering the question. Then he shakes his head and slams his fist on the table. No, I don't think so. Something big is happening here, and I'm right in the middle of it. Iger cuts in, that's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me a story about a kill team that might be related to all of this. Apparently a Decker named Hellbore posted a theory about First Wind to Shadowland BBS about 5 years ago. And about an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in meat space and cooked her entire apartment with her in it. If what Tolstoy told me was true, Hellbore live posted the event. She described her killer, this great big orc with skin grafts. Then the whole thread disappeared, gone without a trace. Well, there's that orc, right? This is Leap. Iger love? Sounds like he's on the right track to me. Iger holds her silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winter pauses. It looks like he's working up to something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This has gotta be First Wind, all of it. Adrian was right about her. She's still alive, and she's out of the SOX. She's covering her tracks, working the shadows, preparing to rise again. And that means I have to find you, Adrian, for everyone's sake. Thankfully, I got a lead. For the first time in 2 decades, I've got a solid goddamn lead. I backtraced all the Matrix knows that Hellbore was looking into, back before she got cooked. Whoever's been purging the Matrix didn't think about that. And I found she turned up. Winter stabs a few keys on his keyboard, and an image expands to fill the screen of his monitor. A satellite photo of a rural landscape, annotated with GPS data. A set of map coordinates. So I got a target, a place to start digging. The Harfeld Manor, conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside, miles away from prying eyes. Matrix records indicate that some sort of data vault exists beneath the estate, so that's what I need to get into. Oh, so he sent us there to investigate this shit without telling us? Man, that's fucked up. Cause yo, he probably could have gotten us all killed. He told her that it was gonna be an easy run, yo. And this is where we came in. As if on cue, a familiar image winks into monitor to Winter's left. Monica. I think I'm gonna tap Schaefer for the job. She's got the skills to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about flux state security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. Wow, what a piece of shit. I warned her. Amzel's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On the display, Winter's mouth parts into a broad grin. Time to put plans into motion. By this time tomorrow night, I should have the information that I need. And on the off chance that Schaefer gets taken out, well, that'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet and all that. Until then. Wow, I do not feel sorry for what happened to him at all now. What a scumbag. Alright, you're at the 10. Oh, this is the hotel, right? 11 and 10. Its blur motion and the haggard form of Green Winter slumbers in the frame. Suspicions confirmed. Schaefer dead. Christ. Winters reaches a shaking hand off camera. A moment later, it returns clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down, wipes his breath with the back of his hand, and takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up. Slow down. Start from the beginning. Winters closes his eyes and makes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in the cruise browser. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skill and experience, on-site IC must have been extreme, even by Berlin standards. Security of that kind costs money. Real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement unlikely. The connection to the Fire Wing is too strong. So, let's come right out and say it. The Dragon is what we're dealing with, and the Spartan money says that she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. I've still got my contacts, still got my connections. And the flux state can be a hell of a weapon for a man who knows how to manipulate it. Winters takes down a long pull from his glass, grimaces, and swallows. Time for me to make my play. Ghost stories or no, missing deckers or no. I've got to jack into the Matrix and start pulling strings. The countermeasures that I installed earlier should be more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. Winters drains the rest of the glass, then tosses it over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear the dull clattering sound of hard plastic on the audio. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the F-State. But still, all things considered, Winters fishes for something off screen. A moment later, his hand reappears, clutching the data jack cable. Better her than me. He plugs the cable into his head and the screen cuts to static. Oh, as your finger is near the eject button, a black screen cuts in over the static. A moment later, Green Winters' haggard face appears. If you're watching this, then I guess they caught up to me. They'll be after you too now. Blitz whispers into your ear again, more harshly this time. What the hell is this? Why didn't you warn me about this before I came here? Oh, we didn't know. Not exactly. Not exactly? I didn't come here to get hunted by a dragon. I'm not even a part of this. You are now, whether you like it or not, so quiet down and stop bothering me. Wherever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother. Because the first wind is rising again. He's the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happens to people who get too close to this. I'm dead, and dozens of others have died. You'll be next, unless you can find Adrian. The screen cuts back to static. The message is over. The DVD tray slides out of the reader. What do you think, Dante? The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on this DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon? Son of a bitch. Green Winter sent us up against a dragon? The Fire Wing. Amso's voice is filled with dread. She lives. I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Iger ignores him. Wait a second, we don't know for certain. Dietrich lays a hand on Iger's shoulder. The evidence seemed pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was our lair. The room falls silent. Iger and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The Decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about Furschwich. Then she was killed by the same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Hartfeld Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that the dragon is down there, Skirmer. Someplace far beneath the surface. And I think we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay, going with the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose that we do about it? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to follow Winters' advice. We're going to find Vauclair. Yes, Skirmer is right. Finding Dr. Vauclair should be our priority. If we're going up against a dragon, we need to find ourselves a dragon slayer. Winters spent 20 years searching for Vauclair and they got him nowhere. How do you propose that we find him? With the help of an information broker. Let me guess, back to the coffee shop? For this, no. While Herr Burgazi is very capable, a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Blitz scoffs at Amsel. Alice! Best of luck. And I hope that you're rich. Amsel raises an eyebrow. For this? Rich enough. Even if only just. Who is this Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schwachwellenreiter. Schwachwellenreiter? Rita? She provides the information retrieval services for the F-State. Amsel turns on the information computer console behind him and runs his finger over a virtual keyboard. The machine begins to hum. If Winters was right, if Vauclair is still alive, she could help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, your key to speak with Alice. Credit stick? Amsel nods. An encoded credit stick, yes. 10,000 new yen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Skirmer. Make this meeting count. 10,000 new yen, just to talk to her? Amsel nods. Her standard fee. Alice is in a position to ask it, and we're in no position to argue. Just like I said. Why doesn't anyone listen to me? Where do I need to go? Take the U-Bahn to the Alstadt Spender. There you'll find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You'll find a method of contacting Alice there. Oh great, we're doing Alice in Wonderland metaphors. Don't call it that in front of her though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I will work on acquiring new contacts for the team. Alice is the best at what she does, and her services carry a price tag to match. Well, 10,000 new yen richer, except we can't use his money, I guess. Go play around with the stash. Well, nothing to... Is there something? Is there any jobs postings? Pending? No, nothing? Okay. Actually, maybe we'll find something on Shadowrun's PBS. Oh. Oops. That's some kind of weird glitch. I wonder if they have any new gear. Or is it just after every mission? Our vendors will have some new gear. Let's see how that that drone's going. Get that drone fixed yet? Okay. No copy is anything interesting. Maybe I should talk to Burkov. Maybe he has something. I mean, no, nothing. Alright. Well, maybe it's better not to get him involved. Nope. Could buy healing for me, but honestly, not really that worth. Alright. Problem with going shaman is the stats I have aren't very good for passing checks usually. Intelligence is really important, but problem is what is this on? Oh, fire. I could increase more dodge. Or I can maybe body? No, body's not very important. What does this do? What good willpower? Well, I guess spirit summoning is the main way you're gonna win. Alright. Off we go. That's it. Quick ride. Alright. Arcade, no. Wow, it's an old school arcade machine. Plays Pac-Man? The only active console in this derelict spawn of U-Bahn platform is an old video arcade machine. The CRT monitor set into the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful, pixelated graphics swirl and dance around on the screen. At the base of controller input, you find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and it appears to be approximate a shape of a typical cred stick. Well, guess we're putting down that down payment. Internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie, from the Venetian blinds on the windows to the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of the cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light and you can catch your first glimpse of Alice. Her face is all hard planes and sculpted angles, with high cheekbones and almond eyes. Her lips are painted a frigid blue, and the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of cyan light. Alex exhales a plume of smoke, then tips her cigarette into a nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorless smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. I need you to find something for me. Dr. Adrian Beauclair. She raised an eyebrow. Dragon Slayer? Interesting. He's been missing for a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? She looks you in the eye, and the smile disappears. Her voice is all business. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State, and I'd still track him down. If he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I finish, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I'll provide you. That cred stick will have 50,000 new yen on it. When I get my cred stick, you'll get your information. What? What can I say? Alright, you got a deal. Okay, but remember, you say go and I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay me my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? Yes, we're square. Good. I'll be in touch. Is she gonna turn out to be Kami? Is this like some kind of weird... I'm gonna call it that. That's how I would write the twist. Screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the arcade cabinet returns. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. That's it? We just go back? That was really anticlimactic. Know who the hell the super information broker is. It's probably not it, but whatever. I mean, that's how I would write it. Although it does seem unlikely, she is super young. Alright, back to safe house. Well, maybe my teammates have some kind of... Blitz has something to say now? No, nothing. No? Team don't want to talk about what the hell just happened? Now there are dragons after us? Well, your totem is also called the Dragon Slayer, so... yeah, we'll see what happens. Discovered. Did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment, and I ordered a research for the information we need. Very good. I can't imagine that this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? You're right on that count. 50,000 Nubian. He shrugs. It's about as I expected. Thankfully, we are prepared for this. I have established contact with a number of new clients. You can find the information on the jobs logged on your commission computer. One job's file is on there already. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig for clues about First Witch. If she is, in fact, roosting under Hartfell Manor, then there must be some evidence to support that fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide, after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. I will never forget. Don't worry, Skirmer. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through context and deduction, and careful observation. I will not jack into the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. That's probably wise. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Malit is working to recover information off of those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process, and it will not be quick. But she is optimistic that she'll be successful in time. Finally, I've been checking up on our friend, the orc with the spin graphs. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Alright, one last thing before you go. Samuel Beckenbauer wanted me to pass on a message to you. Do you know him? The orc who runs a shelter across the way? Yeah, wait a minute. Ah, well, he has a job for you. You wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised he would prove worth your time. Alright, let's see what, let's go talk to... Alright, let's go talk to him about a job. Oh yeah, we gotta go talk to Samuel. Oh wow, it's part of the main story too, I guess. Alright, let's see what's up. Hello, Gamerfront. I heard you want to talk about a job. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so promptly. He takes in a deep breath, slowly releases it, and looks you in the eye. Tell me, what do you know about Humanist Polyclub? They're an anti-meta-human hate group. He nods. The largest and most well-funded of its kind. The instigators in the Night of Rage, and the enemy of everything that I stand for. Night of Rage? A worldwide race riot that took place in February of 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten, and killed. Women and children were corralled into warehouses for protection, and then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. This is what Humanist stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans everywhere are driven from the face of the earth. Disgusting. This job here has something to do with Humanist? He nods. Yesterday, I overheard one of my assistants talking on his comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him and he confided in me. What he told me made my blood run cold. I guess where this is going. Humanist is planning something? An attack of a kind? He nods. Yes, I believe so. The Berlin chapter of Humanist has arranged to acquire a large shipment of an extremely hazardous chemical. Their leader, Volker Stahl, was a vicious ideologue. It goes without saying that whatever he intends to do, it won't be good for us. I want you to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanist compound, you will find out what they're planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. What makes you think they'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are. Most of the smugglers are metahumans. If you travel with them, Humanist will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. Why would Humanist deal with a metahuman-run operation? Presumably because they're the best option available. Stahl is nothing if not a pragmatist. He'll work with metahumans when it suits him to do so. When he's finished with them, he'll discard them and move on. Would it be easier just to hijack the shipment? Why allow it to get to the Humanist compound at all? He shakes his head. No, stopping the shipment will not stop Humanists. They will merely acquire another. For a pack of snarling racists, they are extremely well funded. Let's talk compensation. What does this gig pay? I've contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up a collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 new units payment. I trust that this will be sufficient. Yo, damn, if you're a socialite, you could, I know you guys make more money. I do. Count me in. I will make the arrangements for a meeting with the smugglers. Their leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-Bahn to Shattennest, and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Skirmer, and good hunting. Know that you're doing a great thing for the metahumans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. I don't have to immediately do it, right? Did I just screw myself over? Do I have to? Let me look at the computer. Well, it's still an objective. Here we go. A workstation mission computer. The last, no, we didn't do this. Check your inboxes for new message. Commissioning or services? Of hell. Discover. We would like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You will find him at the cafe nearby. His name is Luca Dewar. He'll be expecting you. Come along. Okay, that's it. Jobs directory. Pharma cleanup job. Amstel's face winks into the screen. Here you'll find a complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Fuchs, a potential client. The job seems to be relatively straightforward, and the payout is reasonable. One word of caution before you proceed. There are aspects of this run you might find morally troubling. Be sure to read and understand the specifics of the job before accepting. If you do accept, you'll be expected to carry out the requirements of the job in full. After reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified, and I will make all necessary preparations for the run. Yes, Herr Amstel? Yes, I am here. To whom am I speaking? You may call me Herr Fuchs. Very well. Please describe the work that you would like to have done. Straight to the point. I like that. Very well. I would like to retain your team services to clean up a mess. Go on. My employers dispatched a team of operatives to conduct a quiet operation in a local Sharing Pharma AG lab. Unfortunately, they botched the job. The team was eliminated, but we have reliable information that one of the operatives have been taken captive. this rogue agent were to spill information leading back to my employers, it could lead to a corporate war. A great many lives could be lost. My employers will like nothing more than to prevent such a tragic turn of events. I see. And you wish to retain my team's services to tie up loose ends? Exactly. The captive operative is a rigger by the name of Thorvald Enstead. We need him neutralized before he can inform on us to his captors. As Enstead and his team have already put the facility on high alert, stealth will not be an option. Your team will need to shoot its way in, eliminate Enstead, and exit the facility. A straightforward enough task, and well within my team's capabilities. What are you offering in terms of pay? 15,000 Union. This offer is non-negotiable. Very well. I'll pass the offer on to my team. Very good. Good day, Your Absent. Accept job? Sure, I'll take it. I don't think there's any time limit stuff, so I think I'll probably just... How much time do we have on here? Yeah, 15 minutes. I'll give it... I guess I'll just make it to the Humanist compound. Get to the mission. Oh. Dietrich. Okay, what's up with that? A lone figure stands at the U-Bahn station. Dietrich. He raises a bottle at your approach, then tosses it away. Figured I'd run into you here, boss. Wanted to be sure that I caught you before you headed off. Takes a deep breath. Then slowly releases it. Looks you in the eye. Skirmer, we need to have a talk about this Humanist gig. Go ahead. I'm listening. Well, I've got a history of Humanists. I fought them back in 39 during the Night of Rage. Hell of a thing that was. I remember the terror, the senseless violence, the murdered children. I remember this little dwarf boy. They stuffed his body in the gutter screen. I can still see his face, all bruised and broken. To this day, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, long story short, we beat him. Berlin's punks and anarchists all came together. We stomped the living dreck out of those racist pigs. A lot of good people died that night, but we put down some of the bad ones too. Why are you telling me all this? So that you understand, I don't like Humanists. I hate this one. But there's one of them that I got to try to save. My nephew, Alexander. He's a good kid, Skirmer. I don't believe for a second he's bought into their bullshit. But I have it on good authority that he signed on with Humanists all the same. Why would he join a hate group if he isn't a racist? Can't say for certain, but I have a pretty strong guess. Alexander's dad is a miserable sack of a man. I wouldn't put it past him to look at Humanists as a boarding school. They feed and house their recruits, and that's money he'd rather spend on himself. So I'm asking you as a personal favor to let me come along on the run. I have to get into that compound server. I have to find Alexander. I have to turn him around before those animals make him do something unforgivable. Thanks, boss. Never doubted you bring me, of course. You're too good a man for that. But it's good to hear it, all the same. Let's go for the pulse. You could do mercenaries, but that's money that's, once again, you know, money better spent on yourself. You know, speaking of money better spent on yourself. I really like the sniper rifle. But she's also the only one that can heal, which is a problem. I'll take this. Is she? You can't buy new stuff for them, can you? Anyone else have medkits? I guess we do. Alright, fine. I think we only have one human member on the team, right? Like, Blitz is the only human member on your team. False flag. Huh. The U-Bahn rattles to a halt at the edge of Kreuzberg. You're only a few blocks away from Schottennest. The key is that Maxim and his smugglers call home. According to Samuel, they should be expecting. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you can, okay, so Glory can use the, you can re-equip them, I think. Alright. I played a hacker in the other one, because I generally find, oh, look, boss, just wanted to thank you for bringing me along this one. It means a lot. Don't sweat it. Even Shadowrunners have families. He nods. Alexander. He's a good kid, you know? If I'd been there for him, if I hadn't run off to Berlin, left him with his worthless sack of a dad, he'd never have fallen in with those humanist pigs in the first place. The expression on Dietrich's face softens, and he claps you on the shoulder. Let's go find my nephew. Let's crack all the humanist skulls we can find along the way. The fuckers have it coming in more ways than I can count. That's kind of like, I don't know, selfish of him, right? Going like, oh, my nephew's redeemable, but everyone else in the organization is irredeemable. That's kind of... oh wow, we have to a city part. What the hell is this? It's the hot dog vendor? What do you have? Yeah, it's just a freaking hot dog. What is this phone? Oh, searching the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markers of the shrug. Humanist says open request for information on current and past donors to the Humanist Polyclub. Identifying information such as home addresses and photographs is preferred. The presence of this hate group and its supporters will no longer be tolerated within our community. We will expose them to the harsh light of truth. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, quality, information. Shock, well and writer. Alright. So I should save now, probably. Gatekeeper. Alright. Whoa there, peephole. I don't know where you think you're headed, but you should turn around and go back the way you came. Got business on the other side of the barricade. One way or another, that's where I'm going. Well, you look like you can handle yourself. But still, I'm telling you, the people out there are bad news. There are gangs on the other side of this barricade who will skin you alive as soon as I look at you. No, I don't have a choice. I need to get out there. If I don't, some punk gangs are going to be leasing my problems. Let him buy, Serge. You just let him talk? Okay. Oh, he's a nice enough guy. He's just like, alright, go in. Let's go right here. Nothing? No, it's nothing. Alright, Maxim, here we go. Oh, the figure at the center of the group shoots you an insolent glance. His fine elvish features match Samuel's description. This must be Maxim, your smuggler liaison. Well, well, if it isn't the muscle that Tuck promised us. Look who it is, everybody. The new hires have elected to grace us with their presence. Nice of you to join us. He glances at the PDA on his wrist, then looks back at you. When he speaks again, his voice is sharp and humorous. You're late, chummer. I'm here. That's all that matters. Well, you come highly recommended, so I suppose I'll overlook it. so I hope so. Without another word, he turns and slaps the side of the bulldog step van. A second van of the same design rumbles to life a few feet away. Pile in, people, and be ready. There's rough country between us and the meeting site. We might run into trouble along the way. Oh wow, it does autosave. That's cool, I guess. Oh, well, we ran into trouble. There's a clear battle about to happen, pretty much. And it happens. Second. I guess I'll end this when we actually get to the compound. Alright, 20 minutes into your trip, the van comes to a screeching halt. Maxim presses his face to the passenger window. From the mix of anger and dread on his face, you can tell that he doesn't like what he sees. Damn it, I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. Cranes his neck out around to look you in the eye. Everyone will pile out of the van, and be ready, Skirmer. We're gonna need some muscle in a second. As you take your position outside the van, you hear a shrill voice bark out an order. A pair of portable gun turrets begin to self-calibrate in response. Sweeping your gaze over the gangers assembled before you, you identify the owner of the voice, a leathery woman with wild hair and a mirthless smile. She calls out there, her voice brimming with pride. Hello out there. Welcome to Rambach territory. Maxim lifts his lips, his eyes scanning over the gangers hastily assembled roadblock. This Kia belongs to Surf Turf Slag, has for months. You better clear out of our way before they show up and force you out. Surf Turf? Those tunnel rats? They're ancient history. Go ahead and call them if you don't believe me. Her face twists into an ugly smile. Scream as loud as you want. They won't hear you. We buried them last week. Maxim's expression turns stony, but his voice remains calm. Congratulations on your victory. You must have taken some losses in the fight, though. I'm betting you're not at 100%. Why don't you let us cross the bridge in peace? There's no need for any bloodshed today. You know what? You're absolutely right. We don't need to fight. You just pay us a small toll and we'll be more than happy to help you to let you cross our bridge. I'm thinking, say, 500 new yen per van? Her voice turns cold. Otherwise, you better find another way to get where you're going. Because this bridge is ours, and nobody crosses without paying the toll. Nobody. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this does need to get violent. Maxim turns to you. Get ready to ventilate these assholes, Skirmer. We got a schedule. Okay, look, let's be smart about this. No one wants a firefight today. Good, that's a real good idea, pal. The ganger boss jeers at Maxim. See that? Your muscle is smarter than you are. You should put him in charge. Maxim wheels around to face you, his face a mask of fury. His voice explodes out in a harsh whisper. Quiet the fuck down. You don't speak for me, and you don't speak for this organization. I know what I'm doing. Let me speak. Do it, but you better not fuck this up. This is a waste of time, boss. Dietrich leans forward to whisper into your ear. His ubiquitous smiles disappear. Let me fry these sons of bitches so we can get back on task. Maxim steps back, leaving you to negotiate with Rambach leader. The ganger boss stands there, hands on her hips, awaiting there. Let's see what I should do. Let me see. Should I help the? Should I pay them or should I just take them out? I don't know. Yes, I got that. Yeah, we got you covered. Alright, let's go. Take them down, boys. Open fire. They got their freaking, oh, but guess what? Being next to explosive barrels? That's not smart, man. Oh, we gotta keep Max alive. Maybe I shouldn't be standing out. Yo, we start out standing out in the open. That's pretty weird. Wow, you guys are not great. Okay, well, I mean, we can get the, hold up. The big explosion should come first, right? Oh, there's heavy cover intervening. Probably costs 2 actions, and he doesn't have the... We gotta get to cover quick. Let's see. Alright, well, they got 2 guys over there. Alright, we should probably take care of the guys behind us first before we fight them in front. Or maybe I could just blast the barrel, maybe? Let's see what happens. Oh, damn. Are you serious? That's so dumb. Well... Why would you put your formation like that? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, whatever. They're probably done. Mage. Oh wow, that took both my Blitz, what can Blitz do? He'd probably go back over to the van. Oh shoot, no, they got more people. Okay, well. Ooh. Oh, we gotta prevent those turrets from opening fire though. Well, I got neutrals, that's fine. Holy shit, Maxim's really strong actually. This is easy mode also. I really don't can I? No, I can't. My team's like too close. Go the other way. This thing pierces his armor, so that's one of them. Oh, it's still horrible? Didn't do anything. Well. The hell was that? Didn't do anything. Hello. I can't believe he's so freaking hard to hit. Reload. Damn. Done. Wow, this one's freaking. Alright, getting hit while you're in cover gets you out of cover, so. Oh, this might actually land. Alright, it's only minus AP. It's not a big deal. Where's the other guy? Is there a way to turn the camera? No. Myself 9 HP. How many more of them are there? Alright, should do it. There we go. One guy left. Who's the closest? Can she reach him? Oh, he's really far. I don't have to reload. Nope. Oh, I guess I'm sending it here. Alright, one of them should take him out. Oh, sure. There we go. We're good. Oh, you heal your last wound, it seems. Alright, let's talk to Maxim, see what's up. That was unpleasant. All part of the job, though. Sad but true. I gotta admit, Skirman, this attack has made me nervous. We're running late, we're low on ammo, and there's no time to call for reinforcements. Whichever way you slice it, we won't be going into this meet at our best. When we roll up on the meeting site, be ready. We may need the element of surprise as negotiations go south. Agreed, that ambush was more than a little convenient. You know, I couldn't have said it better myself. Back into the van. You do get some karma though, right? Yep, 5 karma. Huh. I should get some dodge. There's some more spells. I don't know. God. Okay, everything gets expensive once you reach a certain amount. Can't imagine reaching 8 or 9 with some of those stats. Oh, here we are. The courtyard of the Humanist compound is strangely quiet. The only activity you know is the clatter of the mechanized gates as they rumble shut behind the vans. The bulldogs roll to a stop. You step out alongside Maxim and the rest of the smugglers. There are crates here. A lot of crates, all scattered in various stages of disorganization. It looks as though your delivery is just one of many this branch of Humanist has received. The smugglers unload the cargo from their vans with practiced efficiency. The whole operation feels polished and professional, but you can tell that Maxim is nervous. You can see it in his eyes. The smugglers finish unloading the last of the crates, then take up positions around the van. Minutes pass. Nobody comes to meet you. No welcome party. This isn't a good sign. It's almost as if they didn't expect us to make it here. He nods my thoughts exactly. This puts us in a bad spot. I'm not sure what the next step is. We need some answers, and we need to get paid. I'm gonna go have a talk with them. What do you think you're gonna do? Knock on the front door? What makes you think they'll even answer? They've done a pretty good job of avoiding us thus far. Leave that to me, friend. Dietrich jerks a thumb in the direction of the Humanist compound. They'll have a hard time avoiding us when I'm in there, kicking down doors and lighting fires. His eyes widen. You gotta be kidding me. That's a Humanist compound, pal. You go in there and you aren't gonna come back out. Humanists, well, you want to get paid, don't you? Well, yeah, of course, but I don't see how getting yourself killed is going to accomplish that. Leave it to me. I'll get you your money. And some answers. You're serious, aren't you? You're really going in there. He takes a step back. Well, be my guest. I won't get into your way. When you make it back, if you make it back, we'll be out here waiting for you. Wow, it just, come on, man, I helped you guys out, and you're just going to abandon me like that? That's how we're going to, hold up, we got to examine these chemicals. What the hell is this? Extremely bad news. Warning, highly dangerous chemical agent. Do not take internally. avoid contact with skin, eyes, mouth, and clothing. Increased aggression and reduces impulse control when inhaled. Avoid breathing fumes or vapor. Important. Do not proceed unless the material safety data sheet has been read in the MSDS. Wow. That's clearly no good. Let's see what's waiting for us in there. Transition to a new location? Sure. False flag. The Humanist compound smells like a locker room and doesn't look much better. Calling the building run down would be an understatement. Paint is peeling off the cheap Duraplast walls, and the tiles on the floor are milder with decades worth of grime. It's an old, ugly place, perfectly suited to the old, ugly ideology being practiced here. You enter the compound. The information that Samuel Beckenbauer sent you here to find lies somewhere ahead. Cool, people are just running off. I guess we'll call it here. Continue this next time.